All right, so we're diving deep today into something that's been talked about for centuries.
Hmm.
Who is Jesus Christ? I think a lot of us feel like
Yeah.
we've heard it all before, right?
Yeah.
The Sunday school version, the traditional interpretations.
Right. Right.
But this Zoom session, Who is Jesus Christ? With Dr. Elizabeth Klein.
This one's different.
Yeah. This one promises to dig a little deeper.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've got our hands on the study guide, and let me tell you,
Okay.
this is not your grandma's Bible study.
Hmm.
Dr. Klein is uncovering what she calls hidden clues
I like that. Hidden clues.
about Jesus' divinity, and it's all woven into the Gospels.
It's fascinating how she's using literary analysis
Oh, yeah?
to connect Jesus to the God of the Old Testament.
Okay, so that's like,
Think of it like detective work,
okay.
but for theology.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So it's less about like rehashing the stories,
Exactly.
more about how they're told
The how.
and what that how tells us about Jesus.
Precisely. Like she talks about this theophany language,
Right.
which is how God's appearances are described in the Bible.
Right.
And you won't believe this.
What?
She finds it
Right.
hidden in plain sight in the story of Jesus walking on water.
Whoa, okay, yeah, you hear this.
Right.
So give me an example. How does
Okay.
she apply this theophany language to that story, to the Gospels?
Okay, so think about that story. Jesus walking on water.
Right. I mean, come on. We've all heard that one a million times.
Exactly. But there's this detail that most people miss
Why?
when the disciples see Jesus.
Uh-huh.
The text actually says that he intended to pass them by.
Hmm.
Now, that echoes a moment in Exodus
Oh, okay.
where God's glory is so intense, so overwhelming,
Yeah.
that Moses has to hide while God passes by.
Wow, I never caught that connection before.
It's subtle,
Yeah.
but it's powerful. So the same language used to describe God's presence in the Old Testament.
It's incredible, awe-inspiring presence.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
used to describe Jesus in the Gospels.
That's a pretty strong connection, I gotta say.
Right, and there's another layer here.
Okay.
Unlike in Exodus, Jesus actually stops and interacts with the disciples.
Wow.
It's like she's highlighting this duality of Jesus,
Yeah.
both divine but also approachable.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think so many people
Yeah.
struggle to connect with a God who feels distant.
Oh, absolutely.
So are there other examples like this in the study guide? Other things that point to Jesus' divinity?
Oh, definitely. She digs into this phrase that Jesus uses a lot, ego eimi, which means I am in English.
Okay.
But that phrase is loaded theologically speaking
Okay, why is that?
because it directly links to the divine name, I am,
Right.
from the Greek version of the Old Testament.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like a code.
Right, exactly. It's a subtle way of claiming divinity.
It makes you wonder what other seemingly small details are packed with meaning.
Exactly. Like, what are we missing? And that's what makes this Zoom session so intriguing.
Yeah.
It's a chance to unlock those hidden depths in the Gospels.
It sounds like Dr. Klein is challenging us to look at these familiar stories
Oh, absolutely.
with fresh eyes.
With fresh eyes, and maybe even challenge our preconceived ideas about who Jesus is.
And she also points out that even Jesus's closest disciples didn't fully grasp his divinity at first, right?
It was a process for them. It unfolded gradually.
Which is such a good reminder that faith is a journey.
It's a journey, yeah.
This constant process of seeking understanding.
And sometimes that means re-examining what we think we already know.
Exactly. So this Zoom session isn't about getting all the answers.
No.
It's about asking the right questions.
It's about that critical thinking, those connections between the Old and New Testaments.
Really getting into the richness of Scripture,
And who knows, maybe you'll come away with a deeper understanding of who Jesus is and what his message means for you, like today.
So anyone who wants to understand Jesus on a deeper level, even if they've heard these stories a million times before,
Yeah, even if you think you know it all.
this Zoom session could be a real eye-opener.
Absolutely. Dr. Klein's approach is all about appreciating those subtle clues that reveal Jesus's true nature.
And it's a reminder that the journey of faith is ongoing.
It's a journey of discovery, and who knows what you might find along the way.
So what do you think? Is this Zoom session worth your time?
I think it just might be.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you there.
See you there.
Reflection questions. 1. How does the New Testament deepen our understanding of God? 2. What significance do mountains have in the story of Jesus' walking on water? 3. How does the story of Jesus walking on water relate to the story of Jonah? 4. How does the author suggest that the story of Jesus walking on water is a continuation of the story of Moses receiving the law on Mount Horeb? 5. How does the author explain the significance of Jesus' intention to pass them by in the walking on water story? Looking forward to your presence at 8 p.m. Monday, November 11, 2024. God bless you always.